know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by BetOnline.AG. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash here with our host, legendary tight end, Jason Dunn. And we got our friend back. We got our defensive back and friend of the show, Nazeeh Johnson, coming on. Nazeeh, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Blessed to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, last time we talked to you, we were practice squad. Now you're making big plays for this squad, dude.
Yeah, it's just a blessing, man. I got the opportunity and I just took it and ran with it, really.
The way we just talk about it, that's what it's all about. It's all about the opportunities that you get, right? And then what you do with that opportunity, especially like in the NFL. And as we know, opportunities don't come around that often. And especially in the NFL, they're far and few between. And so sometimes when guys get an opportunity, they don't quite perform, teams will pass on them. They'll move on. I've seen it all. I've seen first rounders, second rounders, third rounders, the guys that you think are gonna stay on the teams will be like, you know what? Hey, we can't use this guy. Sorry. We appreciate it. You know, then we'll trade the guy off to somewhere else or we'll just get rid of him. They'll get cut. And so when you get an opportunity in NFL, you got to make the most of it. You have to make the most of it. And I say, man, what you've been doing out there, special teams wise, at least, you know, as far as what I've been seeing, bright spot is what you've been doing out there, going out there and making plays, man. Bringing that energy, man. So I just hats off to you. You know, congratulations, man. Seriously, for all the success you've been doing. I know you're gonna, do even more. So we're looking forward to you, man. This year. It's been good to see your development. How about that?
Yeah, that's the development, man. They've been getting me right. I've been learning a lot. Been really learning a lot.
Yeah, I remember I think the first game you were elevated was the Buccaneers game, and I remember
the Buccaneers
during the national anthem that they showed on NBC. They showed Coach Reed, and then right behind it was that's our guy.
Yep.
So far, like, you kind of talk about how, the opportunity and stuff, and I'm sure that's obviously something you've learned so far throughout your young NFL career so far, but like throughout this whole year, from, going from practice squad to being elevated on Sunday night against Tom Brady for your first game ever, what have you kind of learned so far in your very early NFL career so far?
What I learned so far is be ready, because people go down, and if you're not ready, you got to basically prepare like you're going to play that Sunday. It don't matter if you're a backup, special teams. You just got to be prepared because you never know when your opportunity is going to come. And always been prepared, waiting for my opportunity. And then luckily, another team wanted to poach me. So KC elevated me. And ever since then, it's been history. So
with that, man, the elevation, you said that teams, where you was on the practice squad, kind of tells a little bit about that space, where you was at with the whole thing about being in the practice squad, waiting for the opportunity, kind of to get there, where you are right now, right? I don't think a lot of people understand the process of what it takes mentally to get to that place, that space. I think people just believe that once guys are on the team, that you're just on the team. Right? They just think that, okay, well, shoot, you achieved, you got it, you there. Right? You got to let people know this is like the inside look of like what that feels like, what that looks like, in your own words?
Shoot, I can explain it the best. How practice squad I take it on is like being a walk on all over again. You're going in there, you're happy to be in the building for one. So every day you go in there, you're just happy to be there, and you're just hungry because you feel like the team may have overlooked you, or you think you're better than the next person, but in reality is you're here, you got this opportunity, so what you gonna do with it? So every day I always, said I'm gonna just work on my craft and be ready. And I just took every day for what it was. Sometimes I'd be like, man, I'm on scout team running routes for the defense, and I felt bad. Like I'm like, man, why am I doing this, man? I'm better than this. But in reality, it builds character. It humbled me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how athletic you are, you still gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's still a process to this thing. And I believe a lot of people that go through that, yeah, we're getting paid, but who wants to be on practice squad? You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's just a stepping stone to get you to the point where you need to be at, where you're going to be at. And I feel like practice squad can really change your mindset and help you. It can hurt you, but it can also help you too if you attack it the right way.
It's good. That's good. When guys, like you said, it can hurt you and it can help you. I think what you kind of do is you could either go in within yourself, or you change it around and like say, look, okay, this is an opportunity every single day to show what I can do, right? When you're running routes. And I know, like you said, you kind of second guessing, right? The process, right? Nobody likes the process. Nobody likes the hard work to get to where you need to get to, right? It's a means to an end, but you've done that to get to the point where you are right now. So some of the bright spots that we were talking about, which you have been showing out there on the football field, these gives also two opportunities out there on the defensive side of the ball when guys can trust you. Because I believe, when coaches are looking at guys, they want to know, can we trust this guy? Can this guy go down and make a play? And so you playing gunner right now, like you said, you're going down there, you're trying to make plays. Everybody understand when you play in the gunner, you got to go down. You're the first guy down there, right? Yeah. Everybody's seeing you. So you're the first one engaging on the returner, okay? So, in your mind, you're like, I can't miss this tackle, right? Yeah. All you guys are, I cannot miss this tackle. Just give me a feeling, okay? Just kind of tell the people a little bit about when you're coming down, what you're thinking about, what you're being told from the coach. How do you approach coming down as a gunner too?
So he gives us a game plan. Like he says, if a guy is a vertical or returner, like he catches the ball, it goes straight down. So it gives us an angle to aim at, or if he's a lateral, one cut type of guy. But my mindset when I get to the line is like, I got my mouthpiece out and I'm like, okay, he's not checking me. He can't keep up with me. I'm too fast. Like if you're running backwards and I'm running forward and I run what I run and he runs what he runs, I'm gonna beat him. So I always have that mindset. It's like he's not stopping me, even if they double team me. I feel kind of disrespected sometimes when I'm not double teamed because I'm so fast. So, but obviously you got to earn it. So I'm gonna earn that some respect somehow, some way by just making plays. And now I got teams that they have a guy on me, but they have a safety over top trying to bail out on me, but I'm still out running his ankle. Because you give a guy running a 4-3, you don't touch me. How do you negate speed? You slow speed by touching them to slow them down. I don't get touched, so I just outrun everybody and get down there. And when I try to make a play, I'm like, okay, chop my feet up and just take a shot. Chop my feet up, take a shot. Coach Toub always says, just take a shot because our net is good behind us. We got people doing their job, and I just take a shot. And most of the time I hit them, and then sometimes it's like I could have made that, but most of the time I got them. So
yeah. That's good. And also, tell us a little bit about this. Now, when you talk about special teams, I used to be a special teams coach in college. I was a coordinator. And one of the things I always wanted to do was I always wanted to take my mentality as a coach and put it into my players. But I always had to know the guys that I had going down on coverage, they had to be some dogs. I mean, when I'm telling you, like when I'm talking about go out and go hunt, go get, I'm talking about I got to have that guy, okay? I can't have a guy who's passing back here, who's fighting at the line of scrimmage or whatever. Like, he didn't have it in him, right? He didn't have it in him. Tell me the pride that y'all got in that room, because I don't think people talk about this enough. Okay, everybody puts the offense on a pedestal, right? The defense gets a lot of that shine. But the special teams is like it's one of those teams that everybody don't quite know who's all on it, right? Talk about the guys that's in the room, the guys that's coming down, the type of bond that y'all have when y'all going down there and y'all mentality, what y'all think.
Sure. We got a bunch of dogs. We got a bunch of animals that just want to eat. Basically, we got guys that I believe are starters on different teams, but on this team, we have a role. Everybody has a role in the team, and we just, you know what I'm saying, doing what we can to help the team, because technically punt and kickoff is like the first defense, I believe, the first play on defense. You know what I'm saying? So we keeping that offense pinned to their touchdown and stuff like that. So you take a certain pride in that, and then you make plays. You know, plays only come so little in a game, because you only get like 9 snaps. Like on our team on punt, you only get like 4 punts a game, if that. So you got to make an opportunity of those punts. So we just come down and just make plays, and we got some dogs around us. I'm telling you, we got some animals.
Good.
How do you so like we kind of mentioned, your dominance on special teams in a year where like there's been a lot of scrutiny with the special teams. You've been one of the bright spots that, you got a nickname in the Chiefs Kingdom fan base, and Nasty Nas now. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't know that. That's pretty cool.
It's cool. And like, I think you have a tackle in each of the last 5 games. And then this past Saturday, you down the punt. And again, I pointed at the screen. I was like, there's our guy, Nazeeh. And obviously you were drafted, being the secondary, you mentioned that all rookies, outside of quarterbacks, they play in special teams. But what do you think you've learned on special teams that can carry over to when you do get your shot on the defense at some point here?
I learned it's all a mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's your want to, it's your will. I mean, at the end of the day, I still got a job to do. I may, like, some people may not like it, but I don't care. I love it because I'm still playing football. I still get to practice, and I'm still on that field. There's something about being in that on that field in front of that crowd. You get an adrenaline rush. So when you're out there, you're just enjoying it. But I learned that you should just apply yourself and you know what I'm saying, just attack it, because you never know. Somebody can go down. It's a long season. This is the longest season I ever played in my life. And if you got people getting banged up, I was banged up myself midway through the season. I had to play through injuries and stuff like that. So it's just going out there showing coaches that they can trust you, especially as rookies. They don't really, you know what I'm saying, unless you're like a high draft pick and stuff like that, they don't really can trust you right away. So you got to earn that trust. And by playing special teams, you can earn it because they give you certain things, and you can really showcase what you can do other than just playing defense. I could showcase my speed, me tackling in space, me being able to take knowledge and actually execute it in the game. It's all overlooked, but it's part of being developed in the NFL, I believe.
Oh, no doubt about it. And like you said, that is one thing that carries over special teams wise, is making that tackle, right? I know you're a short tackler. So sometimes if you're playing defense, it's like, look, this guy right here don't like to tackle, right? Sure, we can't put him out there all of a sudden. He's whiffing guys. He's not trying to get in front of anybody to stop him. And so those things like that are vital, especially in the game when we're talking about, we're talking about getting the ball, field position, like you said, for the defense. And so when you're talking about getting the field position for the defense, how are those guys that you with on defense, how are they talking to you also?
Oh, they turned. My other Fab Five rookie DBs, they turned. They always happy for me to make a play because, you know what I'm saying, opportunity. They know I always been wanting an opportunity to showcase what I can do. And I got that chance, and they the biggest supporters I got. Because, you go in there, you see those guys get talked about from the media and stuff like that. They always talk about the 4, but they always forget there's a 5th person. And they always bring me up. You know what I'm saying? It could be hard. I mean, I try not to look at the media much because at the end of the day, people don't know what's going on inside that building. So, but the rookies, man, they'll uphold you and just keep you going. So a big shout out to them, because if it wasn't for them, man, it'd have been hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you overlooked, but in reality, you're not. You know what I'm saying? It's just it wasn't the right timing yet, and it became the right timing whenever I got my opportunity.
I'm gonna tell you of a guy. And this is kind of like the encouraging word I'm gonna give you. We had a guy that I played with named Gary Steels. Gary Steels made a Pro Bowl, he wasn't a gunner. He was an inside guy, maybe a tackle. You know, he was a wing guy on the kickoff return. G Steals made the Pro Bowl, I think 3 or 4 years in a row. And his name became synonymous that, you know, once you become, and I'm telling you how that space, when you could create that, where you become valuable, you create value for yourself. When you go to the Pro Bowl, people are looking at you, they are seeking you out. Teams gotta find a guy. You understand? So G Steals was outside linebacker, defensive end / kind of undersized dude. But the thing is, he played for a number of years. You know why? Because his special teams was right. His game was right with everything, you know? So part of the current words I just want to give you is, you know, it's the bigger picture, right? It's what I always see. And so you see guys that have that ability who can transcend from saying, hey, look, I'm just not a special teams guy, but I can play defense as well. And so you're getting 2 birds with 1 stone with this guy right here, right? Now, obviously, you want to get to the space where you don't play any special teams anymore. I mean, you're just so good. Now it's like, look, Nazeeh's making $20 million. We can't put him out there, you know. That's a good spot to be in.
That's a definitely good spot.
Yeah, but also, too, when I'm saying G Steals went to the Pro Bowl, he was making that money, and he was being benefited from what he was doing out there on the field. And so I'm just going to tell you, man, I'm encourage you, you know, like those young guys are telling you, you know, staying up in it, you know, you got to understand, like, man, there's a space here for me to, you know, start playing, get my name out there even more, right? Special teams, when I'm telling you, coaches are watching you. They're watching every aspect of what you do, not just on defense. Like, if you're not getting a whole lot of plays on that, but special teams wise, if your name keeps coming up, I'm telling you, they are writing your name down all around the league, man. And so we say this, like, with anytime you're performing for 31 other teams. That's the reality of it, right? And so just keep that up, man. Keep that up, and just keep telling your boys, keep encouraging. You know what I mean?
And so we follow each other, man. We always text each other. You know what I'm saying? We all in this together because we all came in together. So all try to see each other shine.
So tell me real quick about just that y'all relationship with one another, the growth that y'all had. Kind of talk about that right now, where y'all are when you talk about all of y'all going through this long season, which none of y'all have ever played 17 games, you know what I'm saying, and going to go to play even more. Where are y'all at mentally, you know what I'm saying, just in the group in itself? Kind of talk on that too.
Shoot, you know, when we first started, we all excited and stuff like that because, you know, NFL thing. But halfway through, you're like, man, come on, I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But then a coach always reassures, like, hey, there's a bigger picture in mind. You guys, the vets bring us along. You know what I'm saying? So he had, we do different things in a meeting room to help us refresh our bodies and stuff like that to get ready for the week's practice. But I think with us getting this first round bye, our mentals in a good space right now because we're all ready to go because it's 1-0 every week now. You know what I'm saying? There's no more you guarantee these many games. And we all like being together in that room. So we're going to do what we got to do so we can spend another week with those same guys. Because like a lot of people say, this room never going to be the same. Some people are not going to be here. That's just reality of the NFL. So if we do what we need to do, we can spend another week with that same camaraderie and guys on that defense or in that, you know what I'm saying, the whole team in general. So we're going to do what we got to do.
It's good, man. Look, man, y'all been playing lights out, and I could just tell how much y'all had the respect and love that y'all pushing each other. I can just tell it. I've just watched the growth through all the rookies on the football field. What y'all been able to do, the success that y'all had, but how y'all are just feeding off each other. I could tell it how from my rookie year. You know how when you come in, you know, your guys, everybody's doing the same thing you doing, right? Everybody's going through the same thing, the same mentality, the things you had to deal with. And so those things are important, especially going into the playoffs, like you said, the older guys, the vets who's been there before. You know, you got some guys. We're talking about you came to a team that has been to the Super Bowl twice, right? And so they know what the process is all about. They know what the process is all about. From the veteran standpoint, what have you learned from them as far as like the process, the longevity, what you need to do to keep yourself in it, not just in the locker room, but just from their standpoint? What have you learned from them, from the vet aspect?
How to be a pro, like how to manage your time. You know what I'm saying? We don't have classes no more. You go home and what do you do with your rest of the day? Do you look at film? Do you rest? Are you out? Are you drinking? You know, some people don't use their time right. So they always get on us like, we should be putting money back into ourselves. Like, if you invest in a massage or a masseuse, whatever it is called, you know what I'm saying? We got people, Juan and Justin, they always have us come over to their house. And like one time Justin had a physical therapist there giving us massages. Juan be having people to give us IVs to help flush the chemicals or whatever to help your body, to get your body back right. So they're just showing us things that they're doing to get them at their level and for them playing at the high level. And then you got Dion telling us your mental is everything in this league, because if you're feeling down and you're not performing, you know what I'm saying, you're playing bad stuff on film. So if you got to get your mental right too, so you can perform, because at the end of the day, we're all really good athletes out here, but whose mental is right and who can perform week to week is going to want who's going to stay in this league and who's going to get noticed.
That's a fact. That's a fact. When we tell people all the time that, football is 90% mentality,
yes,
aspect of it, I don't think they quite realize that. And so I was on a show last night. I was telling the ladies, it was Kingdom's Queens, that when you're a football player, you got a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
You're carrying things not just for yourself, but for your family, right? To stay in. And so, kids. So everything that you're trying to do for everybody else and you, right? For the longevity of the game. And so that's a great thing. That's a great point. Like you said, you have to invest in yourself. And so that's the same thing, man. It's a learning curve. That's one of the things you have to learn. It might seem silly, like, man, what are you doing? Like, it's like, look, you want to stay in the game? This is what you have to do. You got to pay dividends come out for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a reader? Do you read?
I read a little bit, but I mostly play the game. I'm into cars and stuff like that, so I mostly have that spend my time with.
Okay. The reason I say that because I start reading, and it's always good to get your hands on things that can motivate you, regardless if it's just a little bit here, a little bit there, and just learn from the ones that've done it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be Michael Jordan or LeBron, Michael Phelps. When you talk about the greats, how they're able to keep themselves in it, right, mentally. And so we always say it like when you're playing the game, you got to have almost a mental coach too, right? To keep yourself up, to keep yourself, fresh and versus these things that's going on. So cars, if that's one of the things, like that's your solace outside of it, that is so important that you need that, right? You just need that calm. And so I think sometimes it is that woosah, right? It is that massage. You got to take yourself away from the game, because that's important too, that you don't want to be so immersed into the game that you always amp all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to step away from it, step back from it. Tell me with this, and I know Mark's going to ask you some questions. This is the week that you're going to have off, man. You probably can't tell us what the schedule's going to be, all right? But tell us what you're going to do for yourself kind of this week off, man.
Sure. We don't got to be back till Friday, but I just really just enjoy time with my wife. You know what I'm saying? People don't really understand. I'm really away from her a lot. You're a lot away from your family a lot. And then sometimes you take what's going on at work at home, and you don't want to do that. So this week I just been enjoying her time, spending time with her, because I'm gone all day basically. Yeah. And when I come home, I want to massage or get into film and stuff like that. So you really neglect the time you have with your loved ones. So it's just doing that, and just you know what I'm saying, just resting on my body, getting my body back right. I deal with a lot of hamstring problems since the start of the season and stuff like that. So just resting that and getting that. My hamstrings is good now, but just, managing my health for longevity is going to help me be successful in this NFL. So I'm just doing that, doing different things, eating right and stuff like that this week.
It's good. It's good.
Off till Friday. That's nice. I'm sure everyone was happy about that after the one seed on Saturday. Well, you talked to me before we started a little earlier. What was the feeling in the locker room after that win on Saturday, knowing that we have the first round bye, the home field advantage, and just having this time off? What was kind of the feeling about those, the celebratory feeling about that?
Yeah, it was a really good feeling. Obviously, I don't know the magnitude of having a first round bye, I'm saying, as some of the vets would. I'm just grateful for some time off to get away from football a little bit. But it's a big thing because they make a big emphasis about it. And right now, everybody's home. Everybody can get rested. You got people that's dinged up that can get back right, and you got 2 weeks of resting. So that's a big thing in this league because you know what I'm saying, most teams playing hurt right now and trying to go 1-0 every week, and we got 2 weeks to get just about all our pieces, all our weapons back for the second round of the playoffs. So it's a big thing, and you know what I'm saying, we celebrated, we had a little fun, you know what I'm saying, but now everybody's just enjoying the time off and just getting ready for to go 1-0 next week.
Dude, that I'll tell you what, that's Andy right there. That's Andy's specialty. I'm letting you know. That's Andy letting guys get off and giving their time, and just in his history of just knowing when guys need to be back. But it's huge. Like you said, the first round bye is paramount. It is absolutely paramount. Like you said, just knowing you have the time off, getting your body right. And I'm looking at different coaching styles. Coach Ramir, we had a first round bye. He made sure we weren't going too far away from, he was like, every 2 days, I need you in here. Every 2 days, I need you. Coach, man, we got a first round bye. We in here like we got, playing the first game of things. But yeah, Andy giving that time off till Friday, so guys get right, get themselves right, for the coaches to get right. Everybody just needs to just refresh their battery. And so when that time comes back the very next week, I know y'all in go fashion. I know it's like absolutely right. I know it's saying he's like, look, I want everybody to just get away, take your time. When it's time to come here, we are a bit about business, kind of getting in. And so now that's good. That's an Andy special right there, man.
It is. I mean, that's the only NFL coach I have. He's amazing so far. I mean, I feel like I've been getting a lot of time off, like throughout the whole season. And you got other people from other teams coming in. It's like, this is the most time we had off. You know what I'm saying? So, but he knows what he's doing. I mean, obviously, he's a Hall of Famer in this NFL history. So he's been around, saying a number of teams, a lot of great players. So he knows what it takes for players to come back focused, because, you go through a whole season stressed out, trying to get to the point. Now you got to decompress, and it's about to be a whole new stress level, because every week you got to win every week or you go home. So he just knows how to, de-escalate people's stress and just get everybody motivated to go.
Has anybody told you how fast the game's going to pick up during the playoffs?
Oh, they said every round is a lot faster and a lot faster. So, you know what I'm saying? We're ready as rookies, ready for this opportunity. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah. I think you'll have fun, man. Enjoy every bit of it. Enjoy everything. Obviously, I think I got y'all winning it all. Y'all have everybody that y'all need to get the job done. And I know Marcus was kind of talking about the special teams been getting a lot of flack, a little bit as far as that. Maybe what you can do, man, just give a little reassurance about what it is y'all going to have, your mentality coming into the playoffs, and y'all demand on it. Because I said like last night I was talking about, I said the one thing that I want to see that they had to get right is special teams. So you're not necessarily being a special teams captain. I want to hear from you. What do you need to do in the playoffs right here to get a championship?
I believe we should play like how we did this past Raiders game. If you look at our special teams, we played lights out. I mean, we flipped the field. We went 4 for 4. You know what I'm saying? We did what we needed to do to go into the playoffs. So I feel like we're on a high note. Coach Toub always said we need to end the season on a high note and go in the playoffs rolling. I mean, we got the pieces, you know what I'm saying? We got the talent in the room. We just, you know what I'm saying, had some mishaps here and there. That's what just happens, you know what I'm saying? We got, you got young specialists, you know what I'm saying? Things just didn't happen our way. But we got the talent, and we should put it on showcase the last game of the season, when a lot of people start tanking, falling off. But we know we stepping up because we know our end goal is. So I feel like we got the right pieces in place, and how we ended the season, it's just, you know what I'm saying, the sky's the limit in that room, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
How has you talked about Coach Toub, and I was talking with the guys from Chiefs Wire who did a whole little profile on you a couple weeks ago, highlighting your amazing play over the season and stuff. And I mentioned that we were going to have you on tonight. And they wanted me to ask you, how has Coach Toub helped and contributed to your impact on special teams?
So at first, obviously I wasn't playing. I was up and down. They brought people in and elevated them over me. So I had to sit down with Toub, and I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on? Why am I not getting my time yet?" And he just told me, "We just can't trust you. You got to just, work." He was telling me how other people became dogs, and I was like, "Okay." So I took that, and that, that did something to me. I guess that just flipped the switch, because I was like, "Hold on, you don't trust me." I'm like, "Hold on." So I took that, and I got my first start at the left safety on kickoff, and obviously I'm like, man, I'm mad at myself. I'm like, how am I supposed to make plays if I'm just safety on kickoff? Being greedy, being selfish, because I'm just trying to make plays for me, but in reality, I got a role. My role can grow if I just do the little things. So I know I made my plays. The ball bounced one way, I make a play, like the Broncos game, the very first game, the ball got out. I'm the left side one, and I made the play. And then he's seen that. So then, after so many elevations, it had all come on to me. He told me it was going to be a long season, and I got my first start at gunner, the Broncos game, and that's when I had 2 tackles that game. And then ever since then, it's been history. I've been having a tackle every week, and he's been showing that, hey, hold on, this man is really a baller. So every time I go in there, he's always saying, it feels good being like knowing that you're helping the team win games. So it's just a blessing that he gave me opportunity, and that's all I can ask for. And I just been running with it since.
It's good. It's good for him to yell the name out when you're doing something good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
a great feeling in front of everybody, the whole special team unit. It feels really good, and you got the support in the room because everybody knows how hard you're working. If you're not in that room, you don't understand what's going on. What's behind what happened behind closed doors. But everybody knows you're working, and to have everybody say, "Hey, keep going, Nazeeh," or "Good job," like it feels really good, and that's why you just keep going. You just keep stacking them and stacking them. And that's how you see me keep going, getting tackled every week, because they put me in positions to make plays.
Yeah, recognition is key, brother.
Mm-hmm. Key. It can just being known, like words of wisdom can help you. Like just saying, "Hey, man, keep it up." That could boost you. But if you're not getting talked about or talked to, that can all, like you said, that can go back to your mental. If you don't have the mental capacity, like, hey, we believe in you, you're not going to excel. So you're always going to be like, you're going to second guess yourself and stuff like that. But I got reassurance, and I've been balling ever since.
It's good, man. You've been laying it out there, brother. I'm telling you, I've been watching you, man. Like I said, I'm just so happy for you. I'm just proud, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. It's
definitely.
Like I said, from where we started, just kind of talking to you to now, like me and Marcus always like, "Yo, it's our boy Nas, man. Look at him. Look at Nas out there doing his thing." What have you learned about the fans? Have people started to recognize you a little bit more because of the things you've been doing out there on special teams? Have you been getting a little recognition out there in the community too?
Yeah, I have a little bit. I try to stay away from that, but I have a little bit. I try to, like Andy Reid always says, just block out the outside noise. So I've been doing that, but it's kind of hard to, because our life is all on social media, and everything you get on, you see something about the Chiefs or something like that. So you feed into it a little bit, but you try not to. But I have seen my name out there, and it feels really good. Knowing that, hey, he's actually contributing, he's actually helping the team, instead of just being not gonna say a nobody, but just somebody that's recognized. It feels pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Have a balance with it too, man. Take praise and criticism the same,
mm-hmm.
With a grain of salt, and so that's part of the mentality part of it. Like, hey, man, I appreciate it, and it's good at appreciation. That's the same thing when somebody's like, "Oh man, y'all, hey man, thank you."
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be fine. We're out there working hard and stuff like that. But it's so enriching just watching it. And when I'm just looking at you, man, it just in like I said, your development from the first of the season to where you are now, it's been incredible.
Mm-hmm. And I remember you guys say, so you're gonna make plays this year, and hey, look at it coming to fruition. You just speak it into existence, and it happens. That's how words work. That's how the world works.
That's it.
Yeah. The one thing I know you're a humble and you're a modest guy, so I'm gonna do some bragging on you, Nazeeh. In that same article that I mentioned from Chiefs Wire, they had mentioned that Lance Zierlein, one of these draft experts, he had said that, he's a 7th round guy because he's a below average tackler tackling in space, and it's like, well, obviously, you said you got to give a guy a chance in order to see what he can and cannot do. And you've been given your chance, and obviously special teams, you've been tackling in space. So it's like, okay, well, that's why they're draft experts. They don't know this. They don't know what the heck they're talking about. JD knows all about that.
It's all. I feel like sometimes it's all politics, but because you're coming from a small school, so they believe I don't play talent, but I believe it's football. At the end of the day, there's talent everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So.
Look, football don't change, right?
Football don't change. It don't matter what level you're at.
I don't care what you draw up on the drawing board, X's and O's.
Yep.
It's like you said, it's the will and the want to. It's the tackle, right? It's going out there and just being a dog, making plays. It's what it is. It's just I don't care how you draw it up. It's that mentality. It's got to be inside this guy to make that play. And so you've done it, and it's just proving people wrong. Like you said, a lot of these people they probably ain't playing no football to begin with. They got to make an evaluation on who this guy is. These guys just writing things up. He has no idea.
Yeah.
He has no idea who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where you from, what you done been through, who your people are, any of those things. So that's why I say with these things out here on social media, I'm so glad, man, that we didn't have social media when I was coming through. Seriously, but because of it now, there is going to be a lot of flack. There's going to be a lot of people out here. People are just going to say stuff just to be saying it anyway, right? Just understanding, like, look, this dude's just going to be, idiot regardless of whatever happens, right? You can make every tackle. Somebody's going to find credit. Oh man, he could have, right? It's a little bit better. He could have got down there fast.
Yeah.
Like, all you listen to is what's important in the room, right? Inside that building. That's all that matters. Everybody else, even us, all that matters is inside that room, inside that building. Everybody speaking the same thing, having the same goal, just win the championship, man. As long as y'all hold on to each other and y'all keep understanding and keep trusting each other, man, y'all gonna be fine. Y'all gonna whoop everybody. So, let me ask you real quick: who do you want to play, and who do you not want to play?
Ooh,
let me ask you that.
Personally,
yeah.
I would love to play the Bills and the Cincinnati again because that left a bitter taste in our mouth. You know what I'm saying? We haven't beat the Cincinnati in 2 years, I think, in the last 3 times. So we got something for them. We want to play them so bad. And then the Bills, you know what I'm saying? They got us in the regular season. And we're hungry. We're looking forward because everybody's saying, "Hey, when we played really, really good teams, we've been losing." Nah, it's not what they did; it's what we didn't do. So we got to just, execute, and we're gonna be ready. So I want to play both of them. And it's not one team I don't want, but I want to play both. I wish we can play both.
Love it.
I love it. That's what you said right there. It wasn't about what they did; it's about what y'all did not do. I tell people all the time, it's never about what the other team, it's not about who they have. Shoot, y'all got enough people. It's all about making plays. And if y'all didn't do something, that's on you all, right? How good the other team is because, the Chiefs are the pinnacle of the NFL, period. Everybody could talk about whatever, but Chiefs is the barometer of the NFL. Everybody wants to be the Chief. Everybody's trying to knock the Chiefs off, because they understand how good y'all are. They understand that. And so, they can talk down to y'all and all the Bills is coming here with the Bengals. No, I know y'all want that back. I know y'all want that back.
Gotta get that back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There was the one thing that stood out, and obviously we blew out the Raiders this weekend. But the one thing that stood out, everyone's still talking about, is that snow globe play. Or what was your thoughts when you saw that at practice when you all first tried that out, and then what was your thoughts from the sideline when you saw them roll it out of the game on Saturday?
So they always do it the Saturday, you know what I'm saying, before we get on the bus, you know what I'm saying, like end of the game type play. So I look at it, I'm like, okay, they just playing around, you know what I'm saying, the end of practice. But then to see it out there and it worked, it was like, hold on, like this is cool because on the sideline, you watching like history. You're just watching a movie because you got one of the best offense in the National Football League. And you get to see him go to work, see that whole offense go to work, and they do crazy stuff. And we're just on defense, like, wow, did you just see that? You know what I'm saying? You watch videos of this, just having a blast on the sideline, just watching the offense go to work. So just to see that being bought in, it just shows how much fun we actually have playing football. It's, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's fun. It's a kid's game, and we're just enjoying it.
It was a lot of people that were saying, "Oh, it's disrespectful to do it this way" and stuff like that. I said, you know what? Stop it then. How about you stop it?
Yeah.
Right? It ain't disrespectful if you can't stop it. And they scored.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And all they did was break a huddle. That's all they did. If you really think about it, they just spun around once and broke the huddle. That's all they did. Right. And they just threw a screenplay. That's all they did.
That was it.
That's all it was. It just put a little flavor on it. That's all.
Called it window dressing. That's what.
Yeah, that's all it did. It's like motioning before play. That's all they did.
Yeah.
One of the last questions before we go, Nazeeh. So you talk about, you guys are off till Friday, and we don't know who we're going to play yet. Who's who on the team's hosting like a watch party this weekend to watch these games to see who you all going to play? Is anybody hosting a watch party?
I think it's probably going to be like one of the vets, probably either Justin or Jay Reed. I said Justin, Jay Reed, or Juan going to, have something, because they usually always have something. But it's going to be fun, getting to sit back, This year you're getting a paycheck for, first round bye. So that's pretty cool. I never had that. You get a paycheck for not doing anything. That's pretty cool. So just sitting back, just watching, all the hard work you put through just to get this first round bye is big. But we're just going to be watching, some people are going to be rooting because they want to play this team or this team. But we're going to be watching and be ready for whatever the outcome is going to be.
Yeah. Isn't that good to get the paycheck? When I was a rookie, I had no idea we was getting an extra check for the playoffs. And I remember one of my guys, my vet, he's like, JD, man, we got to make the playoffs. I said, for what? He said, man, I need to get my basement done. I said, he said, we get a check every game. He said,
people don't want to say that.
Oh, yeah. I was like, well,
and it comes like 2 days after the game, and it's like, I already set a budget for the year. So it's like extra playing money. You can do what you literally want to with that money. So it's just pretty cool.
Well, hey, enjoy it, my man. Enjoy it. All right?
Appreciate that. Yes, sir. I'm enjoying this process, man. This thing it's fun. I kid you not. It's a people don't understand. You obviously but being in the NFL, it's like a different type of a feeling. Like you got a different type of aura. You know what I'm saying? Like different type of swagger about you. So it's just like you just do things differently. You know what I'm saying? You look at differently. But I just enjoy it because at the end of the day, everybody that made it was never, normal. They was always that guy, and to get to this point and to be here, it just feels so good. Like, it feels so good. I'm telling you that right now. It's not even about, the paycheck. It's just you get to play ball, on the best level. You're considered a professional athlete. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that. It just feels so good. That's what I love about it.
Look, put it in perspective, man. You're the elite of the elite.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing this brotherhood, this family, there's only so many people that's been able to do it on this level, and so you're in that elite group of people that's been there. It's almost like the special forces, right? I mean, it's like when you're talking about the elite, you are one of the best football players in the world. Period. Bar none, right? And so when people are evaluating people out there right now, Nazeeh is one of the best football players in the world. And so that should be celebrated, right? And you should look at this accomplishment because it's a huge accomplishment and privilege. And so, but I know you're a humble guy. I hear you talking, man. I can see how grateful you are of just having this opportunity and how blessed you are to understand what this really means, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about to these guys that I'm out here coaching is the responsibility also to be in that position, right? And so, like you said, some guys may choose to do different things, drink or whatever like that. Man, I just tell you, man, just stay focused on what you're doing, right?
Yes,
being
sir.
a professional, things like that, man, because one thing that you're trying to do is you're trying to create that generational wealth, right, for you and your family. And so every chance, every opportunity gives you that. And so don't take any chance, any position, any snap, any play, any process for granted. I'm just going to let you know, man, just don't take none of it for granted. So you remain that, you keep that, man, with your head on, and like I said, your boys celebrating you, and your wife and family and everybody keeping together, man. You're gonna be okay, man.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm a fan. I'm just
yes, I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
So I'm gonna be watching you in your development when you out here about year 8. You're making about $25 million, right? Don't forget the young, the old people out here. All right?
Yes, sir.
I'm talking you up, brother. But yeah, thanks again, man, for coming out here on the show, man. Like I said, man, we just love chopping it up. We had Dewan. You get your hair cut by Dewan?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Dewan was out, man. He was cutting it up with his. Was it last week, Marcus, or was it the week before?
2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Dewan used to cut us back in the day, man. So Dewan has a lot of that, just knowing a lot of these guys over the years, and he talked about the young generation of guys now. He's like, man, JD, is what I'm telling you. These guys they sharp, they're very intelligent. The things that they do when they bring about. You're one of those guys he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that is something when other guys are talking about it, about how you all are. That is something that, like I said before, it needs to be celebrated too, man. So thank you, Nas.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Nas. We'll have you on the off season and in a couple weeks when hopefully we're talking
in the Super Bowl, man. How it feels to win.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, one little quick lyric from Nas, okay, the rapper. You know what I'm saying? The artist, man. Nas has said, man, he used to run like a cheetah with thoughts of an assassin.
Yeah.
I run like a cheetah with thoughts of an assassin down there, baby.
Yes, sir.
Go get that thing done.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, Nas.
All right.
See you, bro.
See you.
That was our guy, Nazeeh Johnson. Obviously, he was amazing when we talked to him in our preview week 1, and then now. I gotta say, man, probably one of the most genuine guys. Like we've had a lot of former NFL players on, but like that's genuine, dude. Like he's a genuine guy, and he's happy to be living the dream, and that's what it seems like.
Absolutely, man. And what he's done is he's over his time just being on the Chiefs, man. He's cut his space into doing things to make his name known, and that's something that we talked about, him just getting an opportunity, making plays, and he's taken an opportunity. He's ran with it. He's done that. And so it's so encouraging because now when you see him out there on special teams making plays, you see his mentality. When you talk about the hunger, what he's going to do about enjoying the process, he's done that. He's done that. And sometimes it's tough, man, for a rookie to find that space, especially not a first-round pick or a second-round pick. It's like, well, where do I find myself in this thing, right? I'm a practice squad player. What am I doing? It's kind of like the whole hum of it every single week. No, he's part of it. He's part of the deal. He's part of the process and the people that's helping the Chiefs win, right? He's helping dictate wins or losses for this season. And so I'm so thankful, man, for him being out here, what he's been doing out here, man. We're going to keep rooting him on, man. So that's our guy. Like you said, he's a humble dude, like Nas a lot, man. It was a great interview, man. So
he's one of those guys. It's like, obviously, we've had him on the show and stuff, and like, yeah, we're a little bit biased towards these guys, but man, like, how do you watch this? How do you hear him talk and be like, how do you not root for that guy?
Right. Absolutely. That's 100% sure. That's the truth. It's the truth.
And one thing, me, I like to call out certain things sometimes. And like when I saw that when Chiefs Wire posted the write up of what one of the draft experts had to say about him, it's like, these guys we've talked about before, like when you were coming out and you heard some BS that was about you, it's like, who are these people? I mean, like, yeah, what, like you were maybe a low level scout, like one time, probably never played the game of football, but like you have to say the guy can't tackle in the open field in space, and like he's doing that. Drafted in the 7th round, and look what he's doing on Sundays and Saturdays. He's dominating.
Yeah. We probably should ask that dude that's drafting it up, like, well, how many open tackles have you made? How good were you? Like, I could see you being a little bit, kind of critical of this guy. If you've done it at a high level, right? Mm-hmm. Sure. Oh, he can't do that. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. How many times you done it? Mm-hmm. So that's what I kind of look at. Not saying that people can't be critical or say certain things, especially things that may be glaring, right, on guys.
Yeah.
But then when you see a guy go out there and he's making the open field tackles, he don't mind tackling, put his head in. It's like, well, this guy right here really didn't know what he was talking about.
Yep.
He just writing things up just to be writing them.
Mm-hmm.
So you like anybody can do that guy's job. Can he do Nas's? Right?
Nope.
So
no. Yeah. And plus, like you said, like some of these guys, like they don't know where the hell EKU is. If the word Kentucky was not an EKU, they wouldn't know where the hell you went to school, JD. This guy probably doesn't even know where Marshall is, where Nas went. He probably thinks it's just a movie. He doesn't know. He thinks it's a made up school.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if the people that need to know, they know, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The other people, but Marshall, you don't have to know who it is, right? All you just need to know when I come out there on the football field, you're gonna know exactly who I am. Exactly. That's all that matters. And the coaches and the fans are gonna know exactly who I am.
Mm-hmm. Hearing him talk about he's gonna get. It sounds like he's gonna be hanging out with Juan Thornhill or Justin Reed to watch the games this weekend. Does that bring back some memories of watching some games together, playoff games together with the guys, with seeing who you're gonna have to play?
Yeah. I mean, because that's what it is. When you talk about, that's your family. These are the guys you hang around with all the time, and so you're with them than you are more than you with your family at times. And so it's just one of those things that you want to see people that you see like every single day. It's just part of the process. And so not only you just watching the game, but everybody's evaluating the guys that you may be potentially playing. Mm-hmm. And so you're talking over these things, right? Oh, this guy didn't. Oh man, I'm gonna lock him down next time I get up to him. And so all those things goes into that. That's just a wealth of knowledge that you're getting, that experience from older guys, vet guys. And so that's always a good thing when you can get together with your boys and kind of talk these things out, have some fun, eat some wings, maybe sip a little bit, but you're still business, right? You have a good time, but it's still business because you realize somebody be watching might have to play him in a week or two. Yeah. Right. So that's the reality of it. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask him this, but so he said Juan Thornhill and Justin Reed. So it sounds like, and you can actually speak to this. When you go do those like camaraderie type things, like watching the games together, is that more position group stuff? So he'll be hanging out with the DBs, and I'm assuming you were with the tight ends when you guys would do a lot of stuff together.
Yeah, that's pretty much it because that's kind of your crew. That's who you with, and so guys they do things together, right? Like you said, position group kind of do things together, and so that's how it was. We go out to eat. It was always the tight ends. And not saying, but we always get other people too. Linebackers, DBs, other guys will come out on certain things. But if you're doing something like that, maybe just more DBs. There'll probably be like, depends on, how their relationship. It might be, linebackers over there with them too.
Right.
D-line, sure. However it all works in the game. But yeah, that's usually how it is.
Yeah. And like you said, the guys get 2 weeks to rest and get ready. And, Frank Clark, the groin injury, he'll be, that gives him another week to get ready and get right. L'Jarius Sneed's been battling some stuff. So like a lot of these guys, it's a lot, like you said, and that's one thing. I loved hearing him say the whole a long season they've never really had experience before, because you've been making that point all year long when talking about Pacheco and getting guys like Rojo ready to go, because Pacheco has never had a 17-game season in his career. I don't even think Pacheco even went to a bowl game throughout his career. So like his season ended in 10 games. Now you didn't get the late December game. So it's like you've been mentioning that the whole season. These guys aren't like used to that. So it's like they got to get in that right mental state. And it was interesting hearing him say that, because that's what you said. Dunstradamus said that during you've been through it.
Yeah, man, because it's important. I mean, it's important how it weighs on guys. They have, like you said, been there before. And your body, mentally, you're like everything is just tired. It's just tired. Mm-hmm. And so, like you said, they do different techniques. People talking to them, vets like, hey, man, look, you gotta be ready because this is we making this stretch right now. Mm-hmm. This is very important that everybody's bodies and stuff. And I love that when he talked about that Justin and Juan are getting people there, masseuse and whatnot, to get your body right. Okay. The IVs to get the impurities out of your body to recover faster. And so that's professional. That's what you want to be able to do, because when you have guys like that, they've done it right. They know exactly what it takes. And man, he's getting a master class of football right now. I'm telling you. I mean, he could, there probably couldn't have been a better organization to go to than the Chiefs. That's why it's even more better. I mean, when you come to a place like this, they know exactly how to do it right.
Right. Well, and especially right now when this giant Super Bowl window that we have every year, because it's like these guys, the veterans can also speak, but they can also speak from a point of view of like, look, like it's a long season as it is, but every year we're competing, we're playing into deep in January, so like they can speak to getting ready for that grind and kind of like not coasting through it, but like getting through that, and they can give you the best advice for it rather than come to some team that's lucking into a long playoff run,
And no doubt about it. I mean, if you anywhere else, the Giants or somebody like that, they'd be like, well, I don't know. Shoot, we ain't been there either, right? This is all brand new to all of us. So, I'm trying to figure it out. But, here, shoot, hey, this is the approach. This is what we do. This is how we take it on. Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and put your backpacks on, put your boots on. Let's get ready for this last hike, this last trip to go up and hoist up that Lombardi. That's what they want to do, and they're going to get it. They're going to get it, man.
Well, when he was talking about the guys, Justin Reed, Juan Thornhill, and then Deion Bush, it's like Deion Bush and Justin Reed, I believe, are a little bit older than Juan, but Juan's been in this organization throughout this run that we've been on. So it's like those guys are the elder statesmen, but as far as like making these runs here, Juan's probably got the most to say about it, because, I mean, Matthew's gone, Sorensen's gone. So he's like the veteran from that core group. So he's the one probably giving the insight of like and how to last through this the next few weeks.
That's right. Absolutely. So
yeah,
man, I said, hang on every word he's got to say.
Yeah,
he's been there. He's seen it.
Yeah, and I think that like top to bottom, you have the older guys who who are great guys, and then you also have these young kids, the Fab Five that Nas said. It's like we are in good hands with the guys that Veach has brought in. Like these are all really good dudes. I mean, this draft class, we had Kennard on this year, Nas on, just good rooks, good nice kids, and then and also we had Cornell Powell on from the draft class from the year prior, and like it just seems like we have. And then look at UNE, man. I think it is an organizational thing. Look from what 96 or what East draft class was 97. And then from all the way to 2022, it's like Chiefs organization just drafts good dudes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They've been doing a good job. They've been doing a good job getting some quality guys in. You don't see the carousel of guys that you see from other places, right? I mean, it's like, oh, these guys are sticking. But that's what you want to be able to do. The guys that you draft, you want to make sure they come out here and they play, they produce. And so they've been doing that. They've been doing a good job. But I hope they keep it up. They keep it up. And just keep this thing going. And so I'm looking for them to get to their third Super Bowl and, in the last 4 years and actually, start making this, like I said, almost like that dynasty, right? That's what you want. You want to get that, beat that team. I see they're there right now, really are, because everybody's trying to knock them out. Everybody's shooting for the Chiefs, right? I mean, that's what Buffalo did, and everybody in our division. They went and got all the gunslingers, all the pass rushers, all the deep. They went and got everybody, receivers. And it was all for naught. It was all for naught. So the other ones that made it still to be the Chiefs are the Chargers. So
So
it's gonna be hard for them this week.
It's going to be hard. So I wanted to ask you that. I wanted to finish off the episode. Just because you asked Nas a fantastic question. Which I didn't think you were going to go there. Who do you want to see? Who do you not want to see? Based on the games that are this weekend. So being the 1 seed, we play the lowest possible seed. Who's the team that you want to see win this weekend that you want to play? Obviously, we want to see Miami beat Buffalo, and I mean, we want the rematch, but like. To help us out, I don't want to play Buffalo or the Bengals down the line. And specifically Buffalo, the whole home field advantage thing. That's one thing we're not going to get if we have to play Buffalo in the AFC Championship game, but whatever. That's the cards we were dealt. But what's the one team ideally that you want to see win this weekend that you want to play in the following round?
Well, obviously, I like to see. I like to see the Jags win. I think I'd like to see the Jags definitely win. Obviously, like you said, Miami, of course. The Ravens beating the Bengals. I'd like for them to get a little bit. It all depends on Lamar. Is Lamar going to play or not? That's the question, right?
Yeah, apparently, he's not going to play. He's trending towards not playing.
Dude, listen, I wouldn't either. Unless you got a contract ready for me to sign, you might as well forget it. I ain't going out there. Shoot, I am not going out there.
They got a problem over there, man. They gave Roquan Smith that big contract, and like people were saying if they're throwing the bag, yeah, Roquan, are they going to have enough money to give the bag to Lamar? So that's going to be interesting to see what happens with them.
Oh yeah, Lamar was like, oh for real? Okay, I got you. All right, stop packing the bags. They thought I was playing with them. Okay, we'll see. I'm still hurt. Ouch. I got people touching. Like, ow.
The fake limp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forget what leg he's limping on. Wait a minute, hold on, Lamar. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. But that's what I'm looking at. And so Miami's going to be tough, man. If Tua doesn't play, it's still going to be kind of hard.
Saying he's out too.
Tua's out. Mostert is out. Or he's got a broken thumb. So they're depleted. And I know with Buffalo, they got a whole different meaning for this season to play, right? Which is fine. We totally understand that. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, man, this is football, it's competition. Hey, we put our prayers and thoughts with DeMar and his recovery. And that's a blessing too, just to see him coming up. Isn't it? It's just such a wonderful, wonderful thing. Just seeing that gift. But if these jokers, we happen to run into each other, with the head, man, you got to take it. You got to take them lumps. You got to take it. So, but it's gonna be a good round. It's gonna be a good round in the AFC and the NFC. The NFC, man, is even. Whew.
That's wide open because I mean, outside of the Eagles and the Niners, and even the Niners have questions with Purdy. I mean, yeah, he's played well, but like, is it a flash in the pan? I mean, we don't know. I mean, right. We've seen a 7th rounder hit before with Brady, but like, I mean, it's a long way off comparing Brady to Purdy. But I think the NFC is really wide open. I can see the Giants beating Minnesota this weekend. The Tampa-Dallas game is a coin toss.
Yeah. I mean, if Dallas goes out, they lose to Tampa. I'm just, I lose hope. I'm a huge Dak fan. I think Dak is a great quarterback coming out of college. I think he's kind of gotten the short end of the stick. A lot of people, he's getting a lot of flack and criticism. Dak is a good quarterback to me, so. I think they could go down Tampa win. I think they're going to jump on them early, to be honest with you.
I think so too. Yeah. Everybody's jumping off Dallas's bandwagon after last week against Washington.
I know it, but that's a team in your division. Come on, man. And Commanders are playing good football. They got a great defensive team, with a great coach. What are you going to do? I'm friends with I have a Chargers family friend, actually my girlfriend's brother, they're San Diego family. And he said to me, and that's what I want to ask you, we talked about this before, playing a team 3 times, let alone a divisional team that knows each other so well. Is that a team you don't want to play? A team that you played twice already, a team you play every year twice? Is that a team you don't want to play just for the fact that you're playing them 3 times and they know you really well? You always say it's like, it's like playing against your brother. You know every move they got. You know everything they got. Right. I mean, not fooling anybody. Right. That's the thing about it. And so it's almost like somebody you've played before and then played them twice, and you know them every single year. They know your weakness. They know your strength. They know your calls. They start getting your calls and stuff down. So that's very difficult to deal with. It's almost like watching, like I'm an old karate guy. I love the karate flicks. Mm-hmm. So when a guy would get defeated by the master, then that dude he'd be hurt. Then he'd go up in the mountains somewhere and train for about 3 or 4 weeks, getting himself back together, right? So that's the thing about it. The next time you fight him, you got to have something new. Well, we don't play them twice. We don't the 3 times. It's like, okay, look, what are you gonna do now? You gonna go back in the mountains again?
Yeah.
Like carry the water with you. I mean, so I don't know. I just believe that if you're playing the Chargers, right? See those guys, you just know it's gonna be a barn burner. You know it. It's gonna be a slugfest. Like I said, it ain't all the tricks is out the bag. We didn't open up the playbook. What can you do? We got to come at it, and it's just got to hit you dead in your mouth and play football. Yeah. And I think right now what the Chiefs are doing better than almost anybody else is hitting people in the mouth and playing football. Yep. The way they hit Las Vegas in the mouth this last week, man, it was beautiful. looked beautiful. That was a beautiful game that they played, you know, and you could tell they mean business. They meant business. So.
And Nazeeh said it best. I mean, like the way they handled themselves. He said he thinks that was their best special teams game played. And what better? And you talked about that last week. And what better way to do that than end the season on a high note like that, so you can just carry that over into the playoffs. Whereas we've seen other teams limped into the playoffs, like Dallas, for example. We just talked about they got dominated by a team that didn't make the playoffs, and now they got to go, and everyone's kind of like, oh, do we doubt we're down this team? Whereas us, we're coming on top, and it's like, okay, this is the real deal. This is the team that everyone, this is the top dog everybody's always scared of every year.
Oh, yeah. Shoot, the Chargers lost to the Broncos.
I know. And they play their guys played the entire game.
Guys getting hurt. You call guys off the field.
Man.
Jeez.
And re-aggravating a back injury. Talk about that, how obviously Mike Williams and Keenan Allen already had injury history as it is, but then we're talking about re-injuring a back injury. And they said he's fine. It's a contusion, but all it takes is one tackle, and you're I mean, they can put you out.
Brother, look, for somebody who's had a back injury, I know exactly how that feels. And so the rest, he ain't getting no rest. I hope he's just thinking about just playing. What can I do to alleviate some of this pain that I'm having? Mm-hmm. Right? Look, I promise you, he's going to be a game time decision. They're going to have him dressed out, but it's going to be a game time decision for this guy. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee they're going to give him probably some vitamin T, take the edge off, some anti-inflammatory to get him out there to play. Mm. Man, I know he's having the heck of a week. I'm telling you, I already know. When that sucker walked off, when he got off the cart and they carried him, I said, "Oh man!"
They had to carry him onto the bus too. Apparently, he needed help getting onto the bus after the game.
Man, they talking about he gonna play this week.
And they have the game Saturday night, so it was a short week for them. It was only 6 days.
Yeah.
Wild. But hey, that's the Chargers, man. That's why a lot of people are hesitant on buying into Brandon Staley, because he does stuff like that. He's going for a million fourth downs a game, and then you got that you're playing the guys deep into the game. But who knows? But it should be an interesting wild card weekend. I'm with JD. I think Jacksonville wins, and that's a team I'd want to play. A young quarterback who they never played moments like this before. National championship is a little different than playing in the NFL playoffs in Trevor Lawrence. So I'd like to play him at our first round. Obviously the Baltimore upset would be nice without Lamar or Skylar Thompson with Miami. So that's
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, because they said that the report I read was that Miami's already planning as if he's going to be the starting quarterback this weekend. So I don't know. I mean, hey, Miami gave Buffalo a run both games they played against them, but that was with Tua. And now we're seeing the drop off in talent, and people who are doubting Tua, I think we're seeing how good Tua is for the fact they have such a big drop off when Tua is not playing. So
right, and then like I said, Marshall is out. Then Waddle got banged up a little bit last week too.
Tyreek was banged up a little bit too. Yeah, not a good way to go into the playoffs. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, that does it for us. We hope you guys enjoyed our conversation with Chiefs DB Nazeeh Johnson. Nasty Nas. But for everything else, we'll see you guys. There's no post-game show this weekend because Chiefs aren't playing. We got the first round bye. The team's got the first round bye, and Chief Concerns has got the first round bye. But we'll see you guys next Thursday for some more Chief Concerns. Enjoy the weekend. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.